I should. Someone asked, how did you survive once you left? Did you guys have a place to stay, savings, job lined up? Did anyone help out until you had a plan? Yes. So that's one of the most scary things about leaving is when we're in the order, we are told where to work, we're told what to do, we're told everything, and we're kind of just handed a job. Like we never had to do an interview, nothing. So I feel like that was the scariest thing for me. I got so much anxiety. I was like when I even thought of having to do an interview, because I knew that I was a good worker because I had been working since I was a small child.
But your application, what is it called, the resume, you can't put down, what are you going to put down, the order businesses that you worked at when you were 12, 13, 14? Oh, you have 5 years experience in this and you're only 15, right? Also, my sister Rachel left and she did put one of the order businesses down, and the guy who was over her as a reference, and they called, and the guy was a numbered man, and he said that she was a bad worker because he was trying to ruin her chances on the outside.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And so we don't know this stuff too when we're coming out. We don't know how to build a resume and stuff like that.
Right.
But
We don't know anything.
yeah. I was lucky enough that I went to public school for 2 years, and I met one of my best friends, and her parents found out that I was from a polygamous cult. And after I left, they took me in, and they basically kind of helped me shed some of that toxic lifestyle. I ran away with the guy that I ended up marrying, and then I wanted to stay with my adopted parents when they were letting me stay with them for a little bit, and that kind of helped me get out of survival mode. I was always working, always working. I was stressed if I didn't have a job because in the order I was working since I was a little kid, so it felt weird to not have a job. And then I was lucky enough to be able to sneak out a little bit of savings, right? Because I worked at the bank, and not a lot of kids were lucky enough to even walk out with a cent of their own money.
As you guys saw on Escaping Polygamy, I had a jar of coins. I was lucky because Colleen, one of my cousins, she ended up knowing this couple that was very involved in helping people from cults or from any type of bad situation. So she introduced me to that couple, and they took me in. If you guys watch Escaping Polygamy, you saw that. And they've been my family ever since. So I'm super grateful for them. And now the people leaving now have a lot more resources and people that can help them. Like obviously they can reach out to us, but also, so there's this charity called Holding Out Help that actually helps a lot of order kids when they leave, and they have like homes and stuff that they're able to stay in. It's kind of like halfway homes.
Yeah, and they helped me when I first left to write my first resume, hand it out, kind of teach me how to get a job. They gave me gas cards so that I could actually drive to the job. There was even people that worked with the owner of Holding Out Help that were like, hey, we are a daycare if any of these girls coming from, because a lot of us were really good at taking care of kids. So they would help kind of hook us up with jobs if we were having a hard time finding a job. So I'm really grateful for what they did help me with in the very beginning, and grateful for my adopted family as well, because honestly, those little pieces were able to give me a little taste of what it's like to not be in survival mode. But sadly, I kind of chased survival mode. Like it felt weird to be taken care of.
I feel like I thrived in survival mode, and then as soon as I got out, I was like, what do I even do with my life? But also when I was happy, I'm like, something's gonna happen, and I wouldn't let myself sit there and enjoy that happiness because I wasn't comfortable with that.
Yeah. And I do think that being in survival mode a lot of times in the order helped us to not have to think about our life. And so when we were out of survival mode, we were thinking about our life, and we were like, I don't like this.
Right. Constantly working, going to school, we were so busy in the order, we didn't have time to sit down and be like, my life sucks. So like Amanda, I always needed to have a job. I always needed structure. I needed something to do, or I was just going to be like, I should.
Yeah, and it's not that like leaving the order and your life was really, really bad. It was more so you still have to process everything and heal from everything. And when you're having like 4 jobs and can't think straight, you don't have the capacity to think about healing. And healing is a lot of work, and processing that you actually came from all of this trauma is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of energy, and it's draining. And so it can be uncomfortable, especially for people who were raised in a cult where we repress everything. We don't process things.
Another really good nonprofit you guys are looking to donate is Voices for Dignity. It's actually run by Christine, who helped me, and I can personally attest that she's constantly helping people. She's still helping me. She's mostly helping people out of the FLDS. So if you know anybody that wants to help or wants to do anything like that, you should definitely contact her, or I'll put the information up there for you guys.
It was a long answer, but it was a good question.
If you guys have any more questions for us, let us know.
See you guys in the next one.
Bye.